Hi, I'm Bob Lichtman. I'm very privileged to be your Federation's Chief Jewish Learning Officer. Although Jews all over the world are going to be reading this Shabbat from the beginning of the fifth and final book of the Torah, the book of Devarim, most people will refer to this Shabbat as Shabbat Chazon, and that's reference to the Haftarah, the prophetic portion that accompanies this Shabbat. And that's because the very sad, tragic day of Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, comes this following week. It always comes in the week of Parshat Devarim. And so we read this prophetic portion from Isaiah, which talks about the moral bankruptcy of the Jewish nation and the impending catastrophe of the destruction of the temple. The 9th of Av has always been a tragic day for the Jewish people, going back to the very first 9th of Av that they experienced after they left Egypt, when they were cursed with wandering the desert for 40 years. And that day has continued to be one of tragedy. Now, we as a Jewish people and we as a human race are going through simultaneous tragedies right now as well. The corona pandemic, economic collapse, horrible and tragic racial injustice. But this commemoration of Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, is meant to be solely and exclusively a shocking, physical, emotional, stirring wake-up call to the Jewish people about the tragedies that befell us as a nation. Yet, even though we're focusing on this one tragedy, and for this one day focusing exclusively on this tragedy, there is a mingling of hope that kind of swells up even as we're going through this 25-hour, soul-searching, emotionally wrenching period. And I want to look at one of the prayers that we say in the morning of Tisha B'Av, still when we have the full day of fasting and lamentation ahead of us. One of the prayers that we say talks about how we were exiled from Israel. And the refrain keeps going, when I was exiled from Jerusalem, when I was exiled from Jerusalem, when I was exiled from Jerusalem, over and over and again. Yet the very last stanza goes like this: gladness and joy will await me, and anguish and sighing will flee from me when I return to Jerusalem. Right there in the midst of our crying and weeping, here's the first glimmer of hope that we will return to Jerusalem. And this is where we can mingle the hope that we feel for other things. We can mingle the emergence of the Jewish people from mourning to joy. We can imagine our emerging from this coronavirus with health and vigor, and the memories, the sacred memories of those whom we lost intact to inspire us. And we can emerge from this emotion, from this economic vice, a little bit stronger and a little bit more sure. And we can recommit ourselves to fighting for racial justice. This is where the Jewish muscle of hope embraces us. It flows through our body and enables us to do that which we need to do to make hope into a reality. Hope is the elixir of action, and we drink from this hope as early as the morning of Tisha B'Av to get us through that day and to get us through the days ahead. And that hope and that action will inspire us to continue working with our Jewish Community Federation, with our synagogues, with our agencies, with the United Jewish Community, to emerge on the other side with strength and vigor and unity and optimism for a beautiful future for the Jewish people and for the entire world. Shabbat Shalom.